Hey y'all, welcome to day 6 of Vlogmas. You're getting another car chat with Sarah since it is one of my in-office days. Very awkwardly doing this while lots of people walk by in front of my car, so that's fun. Um, Anyhow, this is a little bit of a weirder update. This last week has been so odd, and I just kind of wanted to check in with you on life stuff rather than necessarily Christmas stuff. We'll get to some Christmas stuff later, but that'll probably be later today when I can film that. Anyway, this last week has been weird, but like in a really positive way. So, over the past week, we've had Thanksgiving, so we've been traveling, and like the kids did really well in the car, which was amazing and unexpected because we had a 3-hour car ride each way, and we did stay at a hotel overnight, and that all went really well. So that was great. And then Vlogmas has started in that time, and so I've been filming pretty much every day, and that's weird and cool at the same time, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with just ignoring, oh, these people probably think I'm a weirdo or like so into myself or whatever they're thinking, and just not caring about that. So that's good for me that I care less. And it's also been really fun and, trying out different equipment and, learning as I go along and starting to get a little bit more comfortable on camera talking about you guys and just knowing that if I just totally F it up, I can decide in the editing phase, like, is that staying in or is it not? Um, So yesterday's video, actually, when I was talking about Book Pringle, was really difficult to film for some reason. So some of it I cut out and some of it I left in, and I was just like, well, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to spend more time on this. So you get a little bit more of a taste of what vlogging is really like for me at this stage. And but it's been fun. And before Vlogmas, actually, a YouTube creator that I really enjoy her channel. Her name's Beth. Her channel is called Feral Tradwife. If you haven't been over there, you're definitely missing out. Go over there. She's hilarious, and her content's amazing. And she's just actually an all around nice person because um, I'm one of her followers, and so I chat with her a little bit during her lives, and I'll comment on her videos. And she was going through those comments and stuff, and I guess started checking out some of her followers' channels. And she checked out my channel and started commenting, which is great for my channel growth and interacting with me and encouraging me to do Vlogmas. So she's actually the main reason why I decided to do Vlogmas, because before it just seemed like this overwhelming, insurmountable thing. But it's really nice getting encouragement from someone whose work you really admire and who's just a nice general person. So that's been great. Like, making a new friend as adults is difficult, and it's weird that it's like an online friend, but it's also really amazing. And having someone who's in this realm to encourage you, who kind of knows behind the scenes what it's like. And I think she really started posting on her channel a little over a year ago. So she's still like newer. She's just really successful, newer, or what I would consider to be. Ooh, sorry, I always hit my mic. I'm a hand talker. You can't really see it because a lot of it's off camera, but apologies if I keep bumping the mic. I did that a lot yesterday. Um, Anyhow, she's just like a really nice person. And so that's been great and unexpected. And what else nice, but like just odd has happened in the last week, because life's odd sometimes. Oh, um, we've been dealing with our insurance company. Our roof started leaking back in August. So we put in a claim in early August, and there's just been this back and forth with the insurance company. And I guess just the claims adjuster we got was just not that great, maybe at checking things off his list. I'm not certain. I'm trying not to be, I don't know what his situation is and what he has going on in his life, so I'm trying to be, um, you know, nice about it, but at the same time, he wasn't really doing his job to a level that most people would expect. So I hope he's doing okay, and I hope everything's okay with his situation. But yeah, it took us until the week before Thanksgiving to actually get money to fix our roof. And the roof portion wasn't actually what was causing the leak. So we paid our contractor to, finally get the tarp off of our house. We'd had this contractor's tarp on our house for months. And so he was able to fix the cause of the leak and fix the roof, but the money from the insurance company wasn't enough to cover that. And we looked at the claim. We just had to do it, So we looked at the claim, and the contractor looks at the claim. He's like, "Hey, this guy said he was going to submit all of these other damages, and I'm looking, and like those were never submitted." He told the contractor not to submit them in his report because the insurance person was going to submit them, and he just never did. So the contractor resubmitted that stuff to our insurance company saying, "Hey, there's all this stuff that just was never included that I was told was going to be included, which is why I didn't do it." And this insurance person also told me that in front of the homeowner and that this stuff was going to be covered and like what's going on. So there was an investigation looked into our claim and that sort of thing about what was happening, why it took so long, why this other stuff wasn't mentioned when it was supposed to have been submitted before. And on Tuesday, we got the rest of the money that we needed to fix everything, not just the roof, but also the part that leaked, which wasn't included before. And we actually have two roofs on our house. One, we have a shingle roof, but we also have a roof over our sunroom area, but it's a flat roof, so you can't shingle it the same way, so it's a different material. So now we were going to be able to replace that roof that was damaged in the storms, and our gutter system was damaged. So we're going to be able to replace the gutters now. So we got a bunch of money from the insurance company this week, and we're finally going to be able to schedule the rest of the work that needed to be done on the house. So that was a really positive thing because it's been drug out for a long time. So it's a big relief that we're just not going to have to pay for these things out of pocket, because that's what insurance is for. That's why we pay for insurance. So that's fantastic. And then yesterday, I got a surprise. I was in the office yesterday as well, and it was a meeting-free day at work. So we have these set meeting-free days about, I want to say they're maybe like once a month, and people are really good at respecting them, which is fantastic because it's great to be able to do some project work or whatnot. And my boss put a 15-minute meeting on my calendar, which is odd because he's someone who's very like respectful of those sorts of designations. Good work-life balance, a great guy. He's one of these people that I've worked with since I started working here. Just overall great person. So it's unusual for him to put a meeting on my calendar on a meeting-free day. And so he immediately chatted me as soon as the email invite to this meeting went through, said, "Hey, I know it's a meeting-free day. I've put this short meeting on your calendar. It's for a good reason." And like, that was it. And it was like an hour after he chatted that to me. I'm like, oh, well, what's that going to be? Because I have normal, like regularly scheduled one-on-ones with him, like every other week. And we had just had one on Monday. And so I was like, well, I wonder what's come up. But since he said it was for a good reason, I got to thinking. And over the past like year and a half in our one-on-ones, he has let me know that he has been advocating for me to get a promotion, essentially. My position is a government position. I do not work in politics or anything like that, but it's still a government job, right? There's lots of government jobs in a lot of different fields. And I happen to be in one of them. So I have a job banding, and so it's difficult to change that. And I have been in my same position for about 12 years now. And I've just grown in that position, and the position has changed, but the job banding for the for the position has not changed. And that's not super easy to change. It has to go through a lot of approval to do that. So my boss, has let me know, over the past year and a half or so, hey, the job description that you are working under is like it hasn't been valid for a long time. Like that's the level of work you're doing is not that, it's above that. So we need to get you in a job band that is more representative of the work that you have been doing. And he let me know that he had already gotten buy-in from the higher ups in our organization. And at this point, it was just a waiting game of like, when is the money going to be available, where they can make this a priority? Because obviously they have lots of other priorities. There are a lot of other people who work where I work who are also, you know, probably deserving of the same sort of rebanding or whatever. Because um, something that I love about my work is they really do encourage you to grow in your position. So a lot of people do move positions within the organization just through, other jobs actually coming open. But it's unusual for you to be in a job and still do your same work and then have the designation for that work change, if that makes sense. Um, so I was like, I wonder if it's that, because he said it's a good reason. But then I very quickly, like in my brain, I was like, no, don't think about that. Like, walk that back in your brain, because you're going to be really disappointed if it's not that. What if it's just he was in a meeting with someone and they said something really nice about you and he wants to pass that on? Because things like that have come up in our one-on-ones before too. Like, oh, you worked on this project with this person and we were in a group of mixed company and they like unprompted mentioned you and had good things to say. So I wanted you to hear those things, because that's the type of person he is. He's a good guy. And so I was like, it's probably something like that. So I go into this meeting and it's time, like my turn has come, and they have rebanded my job as of December 1st. And I've gotten about a 9% pay raise with this promotion. And like my work's not going to change, because the whole point of this was recognizing that, hey, you have been doing this higher level of work and this is something that we need to get done, and it should have been done before, but we're doing our best to make it happen. And to me, that is just like astonishing, to work with people who care enough about you as a person and about your work and about you being recognized for that work, not just through words, but actually monetarily recognized for that work in a real way. Um, it's just amazing. Like, I've been at this job for a long time. I've had like uh, I've worked for one other organization in like a career type of position, and it was nothing like that. I mean, it was one of the reasons why I left. It was just a really stressful job in a field that didn't need to be stressful. And I was, in my mid 20s at the time, and I thought, oh, it's just paying my dues, whatever. And then I was told by people in their 50s who also work for that organization, no, this is screwed up. This is not what work life is supposed to be like. I was like, oh, okay, well, at least that's reassuring. So I don't know if I can do this for 45 years of my life. Anyhow, that's another tangent. So I unexpectedly got a promotion and a raise yesterday. So this past week has been like, I don't know, like the stars have aligned or something. I don't really believe in horoscopes or anything like that. I think they're fun to look at on occasion. I'm a Leo. I think they're fun to look at on occasion. But yeah, it almost like has that feeling where like things are just kind of finally falling into place after a stressful period. And I wanted to celebrate with you guys, and so I'm telling you that. But I also want to let you know, because like before that, I feel like we were really struggling. I posted a video about I was redecorating my mantle from fall to winter stuff, because I'd been feeling really down and I just was not feeling in the holiday spirit, and was not feeling the magic of the season and was stressed out. And like now over the past week, I feel like there's been like things have just started to work out. And that's not really the way I want to say it, because they didn't just happen because the universe deemed for it to happen. Like, it's happened because we've put in the hard work. And with the insurance claim, my husband has been following up and following up, and we've had a contractor we're working with who's been following up and following up. And I've been doing good work for years, and so it's not like the things didn't come about, like, I don't know how else to say that, like, they came about, like, work was put in to make them happen, but I feel like everything's kind of falling into place at the same time. And it has been a big stress relief this last week. And I just want to encourage other folks, where if you are feeling the stress of the holidays and you're going through tough times, you're dealing with some stuff. And I say tough times, these are all first world problems. Like, I was making enough money to live before. Uh, we fixed the things with the house that absolutely needed to be fixed. We would have been able to wait a little bit on the other things until we could save enough money for them. Like, we're not struggling to live. But I also don't want to invalidate those feelings of, like, yes, it still is a struggle. It's not the struggle that some other people have to deal with. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm very privileged. And I acknowledge that. But it's still stressful in your daily life. Like, that doesn't invalidate the feeling of stress that you have, or the feeling of struggling. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and share the good news with you guys, and encourage you, where if you're going through a time of struggle and you are putting in the work and it feels like things aren't getting better, maybe it's just a timing thing. And I feel so thankful for the people who are around me, who are putting in work, on my behalf, and who are, just good people and encouraging people. And I just feel so thankful for that. And I wanted to come on and, let you guys know about that. So I do need to go into work at this point, because I have chatted for quite a long time. And hopefully it wasn't too boring for y'all, but that's what's happening in my life this week. And it's just been a weirdly, strangely amazing week. And I'm very thankful for that. And later today, I do plan on talking about favorite Christmas movies. So that's what I was supposed to. I had planned on filming that yesterday, and just because of this promotion, I found out right before lunch, and that's normally when I film. And I just preferred to talk to my family and friends about this and be like, hey, that thing that I've been waiting on finally happened, and sharing the good news and connecting with my people. So yeah, I will talk to you later about favorite Christmas movies that we watch, and maybe just saying there might be one that you don't know about, unless you are born in the early 80s. And then hopefully you've heard about it, because if you haven't, you have missed out your entire life. So I'll leave that little teaser here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey y'all, welcome to my lunch walk. We're finally over here, a little bit away from civilization. And I chatted with you quite a bit earlier today in the car, just because I had a lot of news that I wanted to share. And so I'll try to keep this part a little bit shorter, but I did want to talk kind of about Christmassy stuff, since it is Vlogmas, and I feel like that's part of the point. So this year so far, I have not been able to watch any Christmas movies that we normally like to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it. And also, with my son being about 1.5 years, it's a little bit hard to be able to sit down and actually watch a movie, since we are still trying to limit his screen time to, pretty much nothing right now. When he's a little bit older, he can start watching some shows or whatever for short term, but that's just our personal choice. Anyhow, so I wanted to kind of go over some of the Christmas movies that are special to me, and hopefully eventually special to my children. The first one I want to mention, sorry, the wind's blowing and it's like blowing my hair in my face and it's getting itchy. The first one I want to mention is probably one of my all-time favorites, but I just started watching it again a few years ago because I just didn't have access to it. It's called Will Vinton's Christmas. No, sorry, I already screwed that up. Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas celebration. Usually I just refer to it as the Claymation Christmas movie. But it was actually a TV special, and I looked it up to get the official name because I thought it must have an official name, and it does. And I looked it up online to get that name, and it came out in 1987. And it was funny looking it up online because it actually was a TV special that premiered with another movie that I like that's on my list, which is Garfield Christmas special. So Garfield was also something that we watched a lot growing up. And I guess these two Christmas specials premiered on the same night because they're just 30 minutes. I say movies, but they were just 30-minute TV shows that came on. And we actually did record these on VHS. So a lot of times if you see the recordings online, or if you have a VHS recording, they'll pair the two specials together. Anyhow, back to the first one, the Claymation Christmas one. This is just hilarious and like perfectly the mid to late 80s. This is so much of like what childhood at that time was about. But so it was done with claymation, like with stop motion, and it's like a musical special, I guess you would call it, maybe. But they have these two hosts that are dinosaurs. I think it's Rex and Herb. And one of them is like the traditional, like more serious, I'm hosting something. And I'm going to introduce our musical acts and that sort of thing. And Herb is just there for comic relief, obviously. But there's a running joke throughout about, the song Here We Come a Wassailing and how people are screwing it. I say people lightly. How the characters in the special keep screwing up the lyrics. And instead of saying wassail, since, a lot of people don't know what wassail is, they, switch the word out, like, here we come a waffling, and like they're baking waffles and stuff, and they're all happy. Anyhow, ooh, hold on just a sec. Let's see if I can turn y'all around real quick. Nope, not gonna do it. Here. Oh, is that it? No. Is this it? I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the bird back there? No, sorry. Okay, I'll cut that out. Didn't work. I don't know how to switch y'all around when you're on the gimbal, but there's this beautiful heron over here. I'm walking by a little watery area. There's a beautiful heron over there. Thought I'd be able to switch my camera around, but obviously I have no clue how to do that. Anyway, during this Christmas special, the editing for this is going to be horrible. I'm sorry. During this the Claymation Christmas special, they're introducing all of these different musical acts, and it's just hilarious. There's my favorite one was oh crap, I was going to look up what it was. The song's Carol of the Bells. That's what the song is. And so the claymation part is there's a conductor, and then there's an orchestra, but the orchestra is all just bells, like the shape of a bell that you would like hit with a hammer. So all these bells have their own hammers that they're holding, and the conductor starts conducting the music, and they just hit themselves in the head with the mallet when it's their turn to be played, But there's one that's just not paying attention, and it's just a hilarious little skit that is, to this day, funny to me. It was hilarious as a child. I still find it funny when we watch it. So anyhow, highly recommend. You can Google Will Vinton's Claymation Christmas special, or Christmas celebration, I think it is. I'll try to link it down below. I think there is, I think it's on YouTube, so I will try to link it down below. I know a lot of times they just have, instead of having the entire special all in one video, they have just the little vignettes linked, and it's a little confusing if you watch it out of order. So I'll see if I can find it. But I think that's where we watched it last year. All right, so that's one that I absolutely love. Another one is the Garfield Christmas special, which, like I said, aired directly after the Claymation one on TV in 1987. And there's one part, well, I mean, Garfield's just awesome. I like Garfield anyway. But there's one part where they put up the tree and they light the tree, and then everyone looks at it and goes, ooh. And the animation for that part is just fantastic. And sometimes when my sister and I are like, ooh, that's pretty, we'll usually text because we don't live close to each other. But we'll text, oh, for ooh, and then put like Garfield style or whatever. And we know that we're referring to that clip from the Garfield Christmas special and the animation. So it's very over the top. So that's another one. And I will make sure that I actually write these out and list them down below. And I'll try to put up, images of either the movie poster or the Christmas special poster or whatever. Try to get that for y'all. All right, I'm at my turnaround point, so I don't get too late. I'm not back too late. So the next one is a Muppets Christmas Carol. And just the Muppets, just like Garfield, they're fantastic. This is my favorite version of the Christmas Carol. And it has Michael Caine playing Ebenezer Scrooge. And you're really missing out if you've never seen it, because Michael Caine is a great actor. And he plays it completely seriously, as if he is not acting with Muppets around. And Gonzo is playing Charles Dickens as the narrator. And Rizzo, of course, is his comic relief sidekick. And they're just such a wonderful duo to kind of lead you through this story. And it has music in it, and the music's all great. So yeah, that it is another favorite of ours. And what else? Charlie Brown Christmas, of course. My mom loves the Peanuts franchise. And, there are good morals in that. And it's just enjoyable. I mean, Snoopy is so cute. My coworker actually put up in his cubicle a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. He said he's had it like for forever, and he puts it out each year. So I get to see the sad Charlie Brown Christmas tree whenever I'm in the office. So that's fun. What were the other ones? White Christmas. So the first one with, actual people in it, other than Michael Caine, obviously, and a few other human actors in the Muppet one, but fully like human. White Christmas, the classic. That's one of the older movies. Again, a musical. I really like musicals. And I like watching that each year. Yeah, let's see what else. I feel like there's another one that I'm missing. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is my husband's favorite. I'm not a huge Chevy Chase fan, but National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, they did an excellent job with it, and it's hilarious. And it has so many quotable moments in it. So yeah, that's definitely a mainstay. I know before we had kids, we had a viewing party at our house because we don't have a TV, we just have a projector set up. So my husband was talking about doing that again this year, now that the chaos of having newborns is, now that we're past that, and hopefully the chaos of getting our house fixed up will be done by then. So we might be having a Christmas Vacation watch party. So always a classic. And then the last one I want to mention is actually a newer one. I feel like all of these are old. But a newer one is called Klaus, Klaus. And it's animated again because that's how I roll with my Christmas movies. And this was a movie that my husband and I discovered together when we still had Netflix, before we had children, we were looking for a Christmas movie to watch together, and neither of us had seen it. And it's about this kind of, rich, spoiled son whose, dad kind of built this empire and had all this money and had everything given to him. And he's just kind of like, what is it called? It's a certain kind of incompetence where you're doing it on purpose. And I'm just blanking on the term. Anyway, you know what I mean. He is purposely being incompetent so he doesn't have to do anything. So his dad's like, nope, this is done. You're an adult now. You need to figure out things for yourself. So he sent him to a post office to work this like really far outlying branch of a post office that serves the super rural small area, of course, way up north. And of course, the town has like all these weird kinds of troubles, and the son, to meet the dad's goal, needs to get a certain number of pieces of mail through that post office, process a certain number of pieces of mail. And it's just like no one's sending mail there anyway. So, of course, he comes up with an idea to get mail flowing through the office, and meets this reclusive ex-toy maker named Klaus, who lives way up in the mountains. And it's just a really nice story that my husband and I enjoyed. We enjoyed the animation. And so that has become one of our family's traditions, although we haven't been able to watch it for a couple of years now, just because life gets in the way. But I definitely want to pass that one on down to our children as well. So I think those are the Christmas movies that we try to watch each year. Like I said, sometimes we make that happen, and sometimes we don't, just depending on life circumstances. But as our kids get older, I'm sure that will be more of a mainstay in our lives than it is right now. So let me go down below. I know there are a ton of Christmas movies that I do enjoy, but they're not like my must-haves. So let me know down below if you have certain Christmas movies that you watch every single year that you really enjoy. And hopefully you'll be able to watch a lot of those this year. All right, if you like this, go ahead, like and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 7. Have a good one. Bye.